Welcome to the Practice of Wonder, Art, and Creative Life. This week I am exploring the way a painting can start as one thing and become something completely different. And I also have some other little surprises along the way. So join me and let's get started. Well, this week, I think the focus really is how not to be precious with your work. I had all week been working on a piece of my dogs and the dog sweater. And it always seems like every time I get to a space, and I think I mentioned that later on, but where I've done a few that I'm happy with, the fourth one just goes and gives me the hardest time, which, that's life. And so this time it was this dog painting that I have a clip of me doing, and it started out so fun and so sweet. And then I just really struggled. I was so tired at one point and really struggled with the littler dog. I liked where the bigger dog was, and then it just blew up. And that's what happens. I just was like, this is not where I want to go. And that is what happened. I just let go. And I said, this is not what I'm doing right now. And I ended up with not dogs, but a still life. And that's what I'm ending with. This is where it went. I still had my favorite little pitcher. It looks bigger there with a little plate and a cup, and even an even bigger sunflower, which it is pretty big. And I just kind of put it all together and played around with pattern. And that's where I'm ending it. No dogs, just another still life on a patterned tablecloth. And that's it. I'm just going to leave it there. And I think this week I'll just be talking about, I'll be sort of showing the process of this and showing the process of just learning to let go sometimes. And so at some point I just let go and said, okay, this is where it's going. It took me way too long to do that, which is fine. A piece takes as long as it's going to take. And I put some pressure on myself because I think, these have to be ready for shows, or I have to have a certain amount of stuff, but I don't. I'll just have what I have. And this will be part of it. I'm much happier where it went. And if it's not dogs, that's okay too. But I have some other previews of things that I'll be discussing in other videos, including a little glimpse of my dollhouse project that I'm going to embark on for a little while, and a little glimpse of a sketch in my sketchbook that I was doing this week as well. Those will all be subsequent videos. I'm not going to try to smash it all into this one. This one's really just about this idea of not being precious with our work and really just letting go and being okay with moving on beyond. If I'm not happy with something, I'm not happy. And I'm going to just keep moving forward and seeing what I can learn. And I did get to play a little more with composition and value and some of the colors that I have and color mixing and exploring, mixing some whites and where will I go with some of the darker tones. I think it's still a little mid-value range. And I don't know if it's just my own personal fear of going too dark, but every time I did, I kind of pulled back and I didn't like it as much. So, but I like where it landed. I did pull out some of my color mixes that I did. There was a really cool little tutorial that Gabriella Hamilton has. And she, with a few really cool colors, particularly these two that I kind of use her formula for, sort of. I kind of, whatever I have, I'll use and kind of approximate it. But I've always loved these two. And sometimes they're just my smoking guns I pull out and I just put them on there and it just does something. And I don't know, especially this purpley pink that I have, just, that's such a cool color. And sometimes I throw it on, even though I'm working in a somewhat limited palette. I move beyond that and I'm like, okay, that's what I'll do. I'll just move beyond it. And I just pull out these and I always seem to just add a little something, and I just love it. So they always somehow end up in my little pieces, especially my little still lifes. So yeah, I'll put the recipe in the description, or not the recipe, but the link to the recipe in the description so that you can maybe try them out as well. But I've loved them. And there's like this. There's, I think, a yellow, I can't remember, but I have it printed somewhere and I just love these and I always mix them up when I run out. So on to the week. I'm back. I forgot to mention one thing that I don't want to go too far into this time because I'll be doing some process videos, but I was fortunate to be selected as part of an auction to raise money for some fire recovery initiatives. And I'm super excited, and I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to have that in this week's video as well. Also, I want to correct myself because earlier I said Gabriella Hamilton, who is a noted author and chef, author of Blood, Bones, and Butter, which is a book I very much enjoyed. And also, that's not who I meant. It was Gabriella Buckingham, who has the colors and the color mixes that I love to use. And I will have links to actually both of them anyway, if I can find a link for Gabriella Hamilton. But it's Gabriella Buckingham I was talking about. And my brain just didn't want to. I knew it when I was saying it, that it was wrong, but I didn't know what was right in the moment. But anyway, Gabriella Buckingham. Well, I was going to go and get started in my studio, but my partner brought me these. Tracy brought these from the farm stand, and now I'm going to go see all the yummy stuff. The big heads of lettuce, so fresh. And then I'm going to start in my studio and start I was just organizing stuff. But oh my gosh, I'm going to have to stop and paint these, I think. Maybe I'm going to have to get some of the tomatoes too that she got. I don't know. Look at these. These are so beautiful. I just can't even. I'm like, oh, thank you. I'm going to go get a vase. In my previous video, I started painting these dogs and sweaters. It's a theme I've worked with quite often and in small pieces. And I moved on to working on the background a little bit. And I originally really liked where it was going with the sky and kind of a landscape in the back, and I left it there for a while. And here I am just working on that and playing around and trying to get a feel for this scene. I really liked how the sweaters were working, and the big dog for sure. The little dog I really struggled with, but I loved that sort of fade in the sweaters that I was working on. It was really difficult one this time. I originally had a bird on the one dog's head as well, and this is where I was at on Saturday and working in my studio for my usual studio day. All right, I'm working on the puppy dog here. I'll just put it over here, I think. The puppy dogs. I'm gonna move this like this. And I'm so tired. I'm working on the puppy dogs and I'm so tired. We went out last night and I'm just tired. I took a nap when I got home from work, which was like cutting into my Friday time, but I didn't care. I needed a nap. And we don't normally go out on a Thursday night, but we did this time because we went out with some friends, had dinner, played a little pinball, and then came home. And it wasn't super late, but I guess late enough that I'm tired just going out on a Thursday night. That's okay. So I'm trying to finish these dogs. The background has given me some frustration, but I think I like where it's going now. Like I didn't know what to do with it before, but now I've got an idea and I might just stick with it and see it and just go. This is what it's going to be. It can't always be, well, I mean, it's never perfect, but I'm just going to do this. And put some stripes. I like stripes. And then we'll fix the sides on that. But I feel like this is good. I want to work bigger, but I just haven't yet in a while. Like I said before in some of my other videos, I'm just trying to use the stuff I have before I get new stuff. And right now, I'm just tired. So we're going to get some of these stripes in here, and I kind of like them lighter, so we'll see. Not that light. all this work on the dogs and they disappeared. It just wasn't getting it, and they weren't coming out, and I just, no matter what I did, it didn't work so well. So I went and figured out this little still life instead, and I kind of like where it's going, and I like it better, so that's what's gonna end up being here. And bits of the other painting have come through, so that's fine with me. And yeah, I'm just gonna go with this. And it's sort of a mixture of things I have on my desk, and in a very loose way, I guess. And that's what I'm going with. And I was like, at one point, kind of in tears. And now I'm just like, this is what I'm going with. So that's that. And I'm just painting away. And that's what happens sometimes. Sometimes it just doesn't do it. I think what it is like, somehow I get 3 good versions of whatever collection I think I'm working on, and then I get to the 4th one and it just doesn't do anything for me. And I don't know if it's I get bored or just I'm fighting with it, and then something else happens and I just go with something else. Like this thing. So that's what's going to happen. And it's just going to be what it is. And that's what it is. But I'm inspired by, I did want to use my sunflower up there. So I have to brighten up my sunflower a little bit. And I probably need a new palette here. It's just kind of, I've got some things that are, the paint's kind of, I've probably just gone all the way as far as I can with this paint. So, but I like just the putting together of all these things. And then just loosening up, I guess. I think the dogs were just so tight, and I just didn't like that at all. And it was not working for me. So now I've got this. And I'm going to put a little shadow here of this. Too. So there. I don't know if that'll work too, but I'm gonna go back with this. And pulled a little bit from the old painting, so that should be more pink. But not. There's some textures from the old painting that I kept. But the dogs are gone, and that's okay. It wasn't okay for a minute. I was very upset about it for a minute. Mostly because I've been trying to do this for the shows, but you know, sometimes it just doesn't make it. So that's okay. And I think part of it is I'm just so tired. But that's okay too. So this is where my painting ended. I'm happy with where it is, and I really like how it turned out. I like the pattern. I didn't paint the following Saturday as much as I thought I would. I really spent the day prepping canvases and really getting into this sort of canvas hack that I discovered. I didn't discover it. I'm sure other painters know this, but I didn't know this. And so it's just going to be so helpful, and I'm so happy. Okay, it's Saturday night, and I have been in the studio most of the day. I finished a painting, the painting that I started out as dogs and became a still life because I just didn't like where the dogs were going. And then I thought I was going to sit down and do some clay, paint some clay pieces, and maybe play around with some other clay things. But I just happened to see something on the internet about prepping canvases, and I'm going to admit I've never been really good at it. I have done boards, and I like the boards, and doing the gesso and over it, but even that will be better, I think, with this new system that I found on Instagram. It was one of the things that really just frustrated me was taking pictures of these small canvas paintings and getting glares, which I think I'll still get glares, but seeing the canvas texture come through, like hard come through, and not being able to really, doing whatever I could to do it. But this was really a great way to deal with it. And so I've been doing that all day, like just rolling these and sanding these, wet sanding them and rolling them and wet sanding them. So I'm at like layer 4 right now. So that's not as smooth as it could be right now because I haven't wet sanded this layer. But once I wet sand this layer, I think that's going to be it, and it's going to be so perfect. And not only that, I was gifted all these really great canvases, except they were a little buckled and loose. And this video also, or this Instagram post also helped me figure out how to remedy that. And I mean, this one right here was like just buckled all around, and boom, it's like it's like perfect and tight. And so I just salvaged all these. I've done a few paintings just thinking, oh, I'll just put a layer of gesso over these gessoed canvases and go, and they worked fine, and they're cute little paintings and they'll be fine. But this is just, I don't know, feels like a game changer for me, and really just giving me a nice smooth surface to work with. And I'm so excited to paint these. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 surfaces that I can use all prepped, ready to go. And I'm just really excited about this. And I'll just keep using that method. And I was always slapping it on with a paintbrush, and you could see the paintbrush things even if I sanded it. But this video suggested a roller, and I was like, yes, okay, I got one of those. And so I just used a paint roller, and they just come out so perfect. And I'm just so excited. And now they're like tight and smooth and ready for me to paint. So I'll sand all of these tomorrow after this 4th layer, and I think they should be ready to go. And I'm really excited that this worked. So exciting. Anyway, that's it for Saturday night. This is what I've been doing all day, pretty much. Even we had our closet door to our laundry area broke, and so our handyman came, and he's like, what are you doing? And it's just like, I'm getting these surfaces ready to paint, and now it's a big process. It's a little labor intensive, which is good. I needed labor intensive, and sometimes even just in my studio time, even though it's pretty limited, I just need to do something like that and just get me excited and ready to go. All right, bye. Thank you for joining me on my Practice of Wonder journey. I have a little preview here of some of the videos that I will have coming up and some of the topics I'll be exploring in some of my videos. I have a painting with acrylic gouache in my journal video that I am super excited to share. It was just a wonderful evening of enjoying my sketchbook and testing out some new paints. Also, I'll be painting my birdhouse, which is for a charity event to raise funds for fire recovery, which is a really important subject to me. I live in Colorado, and that is something we are very aware of and have experienced firsthand. And finally, I have my more than 40-year-old dollhouse shell that I built when I was 16 years old. And I will be on those days when I just feel like doing something else, bringing it back to life, or bringing it to life. I never actually got to decorate it to the extent that I wanted to. And so now I'll be planning out the rooms, painting the rooms, fixing it up. It's kind of had a little wear and tear since it's followed me everywhere I've lived for the last, I don't know how many years, and I haven't done much with it. So it needs some more glue. It needs a little love. And I'm going to be giving it love here and there. And so it will pop in to videos, and I'll share that journey with you as well. So have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you soon.